Hey, what's going on, folks? 18-year-old DeMarcus Elkins found guilty in the killing of a 13-month-old child, Antonio Santiago. This story broke maybe, I believe it was a couple months ago in Brunswick, Georgia, in which two African-American males approached a woman and her baby and demanded money. The woman failed to produce money and was shot in the leg, and then the baby was shot between the eyes. There's talk, even when I first saw the video, when I first saw the story rather, the woman seemed a little bit delirious. I don't know if it's because she had just gone through something so horrific. It caused her, her interview was very odd to me. And there's been accusations that she, in fact, had something to do with her child's murder. There's also accusations that she's mentally unfit. Not all there upstairs, if you know what I mean. But to me, that's besides the point. It doesn't negate the fact that two clowns, two young men approached her and tried to rob her. And when she didn't produce the results that they wanted, they killed her baby. And I hope they get the death sentence. And the mother also was found guilty of tampering with evidence, but she was acquitted of lying to the police. And this is part of the problem. Me personally, I think you'd be doing a grave disservice to your children, to family members, to ride with them to the end. There needs to be a certain level of honor about you, and where you just sit down that accused family member and say, hey, take it on the chin, you messed up, and it's time to face the music. But no, what do? They condone this. They perpetuate this. I got to protect my baby. My baby. Well, your baby's a murderer who murdered a baby. All right? And this doesn't surprise me. You know, just to get these thugs off the street, it was a very good job by the police department. And he's guilty. I believe the death sentence is, it's too young for him. It's, at the time he was 17, so I think he's too young under Georgia state law to face the death penalty. But it sure would be nice to do this, especially coming, I mean, this guy had pictures somewhat with Trayvon Martin throwing up gang signs, and just like those young goons out in Oklahoma throwing up gang signs. And this is what we're dealing with, folks. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with wannabe gangsters who are willing to take and snuff out your life for so much as a wrong look, for so much as they don't have it, they want it. I was watching the First 48, and then I followed I went on the internet and found an article dealing with the same case, in which a man in Memphis, Tennessee, black of course, jumped out of a car, ran up on this lady, and demanded her purse. And then he sought to justify his actions by, when he tugged and she tugged, he just shot. He just shot her and killed her, took the purse, jumped back in the car, and kept going. Well, he had an accomplice too. And when they opened the purse, there was no money in the purse. The lady, come to find out, the lady had just lost her job, was about to lose her house, and was putting things in storage. This happened in a storage facility. So it got me to thinking, this guy has ruined his life. Life is ruined, a life lost in an empty purse. And this is the logic we're dealing with a lot of these people. The lack of logic in the so-called black community. Because the only way one could kill indiscriminately the high levels of people inside a community is these people don't know how to, they don't know anything about diplomacy, really. They don't know how to talk problems out. And I've talked about how that type of logic renders one childlike. So you have a lot of children, a lot of childlike-minded people in the so-called black community, in which these people need reassurance, so they buy things to make themselves feel better. And I've talked about how these black folks love to buy things to make themselves feel better because they don't have high self-esteem. So this is why you have a lot of indebtedness in the so-called black community, which the lavish buying of bright-ass colored clothes and big cars and rims that serve no practical purpose. They don't. And it's meant to fill this type of void. And that all comes under the umbrella of that type of childlike behavior where one expects the government to do for them. That's a child. Whereas the opposite is do for self. Try to raise yourself out of a predicament. This lacks in the so-called black community. And how this is all tied together, it ties together with the mother who, of Mr. Marquise Elkins, not realizing the severity of the issue, where she could have told her son, could have, at that moment, all that you've done before, but this was your last moment to demonstrate and show your child accountability and responsibility. But no, what does she do? She lies. She covers up. Never did she have the audacity or the conscience to sit her son down and say, son, did you shoot this baby in the head? Did you shoot where's my phone anyway? Did you shoot a 13-month-old child in the head? That never came across her mind. So she took the easy road. And she just played into it and didn't cooperate. So, again, I'm going to cut this video. My phone's ringing. But justice has been served. Peace.